All right, we're in chapter 16. We're going to look to see what happens in the short run of a monopolistically competitive firm. All right, so here's what we have is we have a downward sloping demand curve because as a firm increases their price, they'll sell fewer of their units. Now, the reason they have a demand curve as compared to a competitive market is because while there are many close substitutes, they're not identical substitutes. And so when you think of your tennis shoes, this might be the market for Nikes, and Under Armour and Adidas might be other markets or other firms within the similar market, but they're not the same exact shoes. So we have a downward sloping demand curve, a downward sloping marginal revenue curve, upward sloping marginal cost, and our average total cost curve. You'll notice that this looks a lot like a monopoly. And in the short run, it's almost exactly like a monopoly. So in the short run, to maximize profits, we set marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. So to do that, we find where marginal revenue and marginal cost intersect, which is right here. And we're going to draw a line all the way up. And so this here is the quantity of a monopolistically competitive firm. All right, and the price that they charge comes from this point right here. And so this is the price of the monopolistically competitive firm. And so that's how we find our price and quantity. And now the next question is, well, what does this look like in terms of profits? Well, to look at profits, so profits equal total revenue minus total cost. Another way to write that is price minus average total cost times quantity. And that's a little more helpful on the graph because here we have our price, here we have our quantity, and up here at this point is the average total cost at our quantity. So I draw this across, and now it's this area right here. These are our profits. But now you might think, wow, we're doing really good. But the thing to note is that in this example, price is below average total cost. And when that's the case, that means profits are less than zero, which means those aren't our profits. Those are actually losses. And that's sad. And so in this case, the firm is actually losing money in the short run. And so the question then is, what would happen in the long run? Well, in the long run, if there's losses, firms will exit the market. All right? And related firms or competing firms or substitutes. And if substitutes leave the market, that's going to cause our demand curve to shift out. So as other firms that have similar products see this loss of profits, they're going to leave the market, which is then going to cause the demand for our product to increase, and it will continue to increase until we reach this point right here. Because at that point, marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. And with this new demand curve, this is also the point where price equals average total cost, so profits are zero. And this is the long run, is that when there's losses, other firms exit the market, which increases the demand for our product. And that's what happens in a monopolistically competitive market.